Bees are more than just insects. As pollinators, they are a crucial pillar for food production. Yet, the once familiar hum of bees in the fields is falling silent. Across Uganda, and notably in Bushenyi District, the bee population has plummeted, a decline that carries serious consequences for farmers and communities dependent on them.
The biggest use of bees is to pollinate our plants. Without bees and a few other insects, then we would have no food.
We've seen a situation whereby the bees are fewer.
Forest Fruit Foods, which specializes in honey and banana juice processing, has 8 apiaries housing around 60 bee colonies each. However, Colonel Willington Naijuka, a resident partner at the farm, has observed a troubling trend in recent years, with an alarming increase in uncolonized hives. He recalls setting up an apiary of 50 hives in 2022, only to find them all empty a year later, a clear signal of the declining bee population in the area.
These non-colonized hives have been, in the recent years, they have been on the increase. Okay, we've seen a situation whereby the bees are fewer.
The colonization rate across the apiaries has dropped to roughly 80% in most areas and as low as 50% in others, underscoring the fall in bee numbers.
A few years it used to be 90, and you find those that are not colonized, 90% I'm talking of, are those that maybe you moved in late, or maybe you had a few abscondments.
Naijuka also observes a disturbing rise in abscondment, with the pollinators frequently abandoning hives without a trace.
But what we see is that they move away, and again you are even unable to trap those that have absconded from other habitats.
This problem extends beyond beekeepers. Dr. James Mujuris, an entomologist, points out that coffee is particularly affected by the drop in bee numbers.
Coffee is never self-pollinating. It requires bees. Once all these bees are destroyed, that means there will be nothing to pollinate these crops of ours.
Emmanuel Kwelunga, a coffee farmer, has observed fewer bees visiting his crops each season. With fewer pollinators, farmers like Kwelunga face reduced crop yields, which in turn threatens food security and income stability for many families.
And we are not planting this coffee for the foliage, for the leaves. We are planting it for the fruit. Once we don't have the berries, we don't have coffee.
According to Nicholas Kagulitsa, the Bushenyi District Agriculture Officer, the decline is attributed to several factors, with habitat destruction and deforestation being leading causes.
But because we've already talked about farmers doing things differently, arising from the climate change effects, the farmer claims more land to compensate for declining yield. As he's claiming more land, as he's claiming more swampland, as he's cutting down trees, he is destroying the habitats of these pollinators.
That's why the bees are reducing in this area. Cutting of trees, poor harvesting methods.
Additionally, Kagulitsi and Mujulis lament the indiscriminate use of pesticides, which not only kills pests but also harm bees.
Among the things they are doing to control the pests and the diseases is use of agrochemicals. So these agrochemicals, especially the pesticide, they are looking at insects. So bees are included.
When it comes to spraying herbicides, you are destroying the environment where they would correct the what? The honey and the pollen.
According to them, climate change compounds these challenges, especially as unpredictable weather patterns disrupted the delicate cycles bees rely on.
Sometimes you find you haven't had rain in some time, the water levels in the swamps go down, and when suddenly it rises, all the bees will drown, they will die because the colonies were at a lower level and now they are submerged with the water because it is erratic. The rain pattern and the intensity keeps fluctuating, and so it also destroys that.
James Mujulis explains that bee populations are highly sensitive to changes in their environment.
Especially the worker bees. They live for only 42 days and die of old age. And any factor that reduces the bees will of course, definitely reduce the population of bees.
Some farmers are now trying to protect the bees by practicing agroforestry and establishing apiaries to bring these pollinators closer to their gardens.
So what I would also encourage farmers, that is, to make sure that they bring the apiaries. They do beekeeping amidst their coffee estates. Because without bees, of course, you will not have pollination.
But agriculturists say these efforts need support from policymakers.
In Uganda, our farmers lack education on how to manage these bees properly. When they go to harvest, they destroy, they kill these bees.
We need laws that regard destruction of the habitats, the burning, which is diverse in terms of cropping season.
The decline in the number of bees in Bushenyi District highlights the urgent need for change because the absence could threaten Uganda's agricultural stability and local food supply. Herbert Kamoga, NTV.